And to you, Martin, over to the headlines.
Okay, to the headlines today list today. Just a bit. We have Daily Nation, and the Daily Nation we have best of last KCPE. So Michael Ruto'S of Riara Springs Academy in Nairobi emerges top with 428 marks, followed by two girls with 427 marks, Jacinta Hasungu of St. Anne's Mumias Girls in Kakamega, and Immaculate Washeke of Gilgil Hills Academy in Nakuru. But even as both public and private schools posted impressive results, the final KCPE exams registered a drop in the performance in most subjects. So those stories on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, and 14 and 8 and 16. You can get your copy there, and there besides there the top candidates in mountain and nationally, so you can have your a copy of the Daily Nation and have a look at the details of the general performances of the KCPE pupils. And then on the standard we have Wote rules Stars bid by to KCPE. Down there the standard, they say Wote is the toast of town after topping the last KCPE exams with an impressive 428 marks. After 29 years, the curtains have come down on the primary school's examination. Yeah, that one is on the standard. And then up there we have employees to pay more taxes as a new health takes effect. Okay, and then state to split Kenya power to create superpower farm. That is on page 10 of business page of the standard. And then down there we have the expounded details of the KCPE performances for 2023. You can get a copy of the standard and have a look at the details of the performances. And then on the star, they say academics shine as curtains fall on KCPE. There we have a final test. Riara Springs Academy in Nairobi produces top learner with 428 marks. And then down there we have results mark end of standard 8 exams. First introduced 38 years ago. Boys did better in maths and science. Boys and girls performed comparably in social studies and religious education. Those stories are on page 4 to 9. You can grab your copy of the Star and watch or have a look at the details of that. And then up there we have Siasa and Jerry, 17 billion shillings bail scandal that never was. Yeah, we have that on the Star, so you can have your copy there and then read about the details of that. And then on the People's Daily we have best of final KCPE. Just the details about KCPE. They are dominating all the dailies. You can get your copy and have a look at what it all entails. Up there you have all set for Sekafa under 18 kickoff in Kisumu and Kakamega. Yeah, you can have your copy there and have a look at those details. So good morning, Ninja.
Good morning.
So if you're watching us today, you can contribute to today's topic and give us your view on what you think about on the general performances, or you can share what maybe if your people did well or your son or daughter did well in the last exams. You can give us share with us the celebration pia tukusaidia kusherehekea, ndio, and we'll And if maybe your son or daughter hasn't passed, maybe hasn't made the marks maybe you expected or she expected, you can just encourage her. And maybe if she is talented or he is talented in some other parts, you can help groom her. Yeah, groom her talent, and maybe you can just encourage her and tell her that education isn't the life after there is life after exams. So the 2023 KCP exams marked the end of the 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 844 education system. And Ninjal, can you share with us maybe the brief history, the time that it was discovered, or it was established, or it started in Kenya, and maybe some of its achievement? Yeah.
Thank you, Don. Good morning, viewers. This is Ninjal from Lightcast TV. And as per the research that we did on the 844 system, the 844 education system was introduced in January 1985 as pre-vocational. And it consisted of 8 years of primary education, of which you've seen the results today as the curtains fall down, and 4 years of secondary and 4 years of university. And the 844 policy then raised concerns that a primary academic education might lack the necessary content to promote widespread sustainable employment. Before we get into that kind of debate, let us look at the history. So the 844 policy emanated from the assumption that it would equip pupils with employable skills, enabling school dropouts to either be self-employed or secure employment in the informal sector. And the system was intended also to orient youths towards self-employment. And the system was actually introduced by former President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi the late, as a way of improving the quality and relevance of education in the country. But however, we've seen that over the years, the system has faced a lot of criticism and challenges. And as a result of that, I will go straight to looking at the pros and the cons. Yes.
Okay.
The pros of the 844 system. So let us look at the advantages, that is. So one of the advantages of the 844 system is that it provides a broad curriculum that covers various subjects and disciplines. So the system aimed to equip learners with knowledge, skills, and values that are relevant to their personal and national development.
Okay.
So it exposed the learners to practical and vocational subjects such as agriculture, home science, you did those subjects,
Computer.
business studies, computer studies, which are meant to prepare them for self-reliance and entrepreneurship. Another benefit is that it offers opportunities for learners to pursue their talents and interests through, you remember, co-curricular activities.
Okay, yeah.
Such as sports, music, drama. We used to do that a lot. I participated myself in drama and music festivals. Kwani wewe hukukua?
I didn't used to do those.
You didn't. You missed. You missed. I also participated in sports. I played basketball. I played table tennis up to provincial level in secondary school.
I believe what made me not pursue those is just the environment of the schools maybe I used to learn in. Maybe the way the staff used to handle students who maybe got injuries in those times. And the responsibilities was actually passed to the parent. That is what maybe discouraged me from pursuing those. Maybe if, for example, I would have gotten to a better school, in quotes, I would have maybe shown my interest, because my interest back then was football. I would maybe make a good footballer back then in high school. But since there was those circumstances, maybe it made me to abstain.
You abstain from co-curricular activities. Oh my goodness, that is the first coming from you.
I think the best I did maybe some bit of journalism. Journalist club, because maybe that one, it didn't entail more physical activity. It just ulikuwa tu hapo unaongea and so I did that a bit of that in high school. And
Oh,
maybe,
that's commendable.
yeah,
No
maybe that's
wonder.
why I'm here.
Well, that's good. Well, in our school, I studied at St. Mary's Girls High School, Egochi.
Mhm.
The journalism school was not that pronounced.
Okay.
The club was not that pronounced. So
Uh-huh.
I would see just girls sitting and nothing much would happen. So I wasn't interested, but I was much into sports, music, and drama.
Okay.
Yeah, and these activities help to nurture the physical, social, and emotional well-being of learners, as well as to develop their leadership
Mhm.
and teamwork skills. Also, the system encouraged learners to participate in community service projects
Okay.
and environmental conservation projects. You did that, like cleaning markets,
Mhm.
planting trees, which fosters a sense of responsibility
Mhm.
and citizenship. Another advantage of the 844 system was that it produced many graduates. That is
Okay.
very true, right?
Very true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's very
produced
true.
many graduates who have excelled in various fields and sectors.
Mhm.
The leaders that we have right now, most of them 844.
The products of
Those who are
844.
right now in the parliament, senate,
Are
leaders
844.
in the corporate sector
Uh-huh.
have gone through this 844 system. Various fields and sectors, both locally and internationally.
Mhm.
Some of the notable alumni from the 844 system are like people like Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of United Nations.
I almost thought you said Kofi Olomide.
Oh my goodness. It's Kofi Annan to be exact.
Okay.
Then we have Nobel laureate, the late Wangari Maathai, who is also an 844 alumni. And also we have Eliud Kipchoge. Eliud Kipchoge. Sorry, did I
Mhm.
say that right? Eliud Kipchoge, who is the Olympic champion and renowned author. Is he still alive? He's gone, right? Ngugi wa Thiong'o.
Eliud
He's
Kipchoge
also-
is alive.
No, I'm not
I
talking
think,
about Eliud Kipchoge. I'm talking about Ngugi wa Thiong'o, renowned
yeah, he's
author.
still alive.
Ngugi wa
Very, very
Thiong'o.
alive. Yeah.
He's a renowned author. He's also an 844 alumni,
Mhm.
among others. And these graduates have demonstrated that the 844 system actually can produce quality and competitive human capital
Mhm.
that can contribute to the social and economic development of the country and the world. So
Okay.
you're actually an alumni. You're a product.
Of
Kubali
844.
aishe.
No, I'm not refuting that. I think to some extent, maybe it helped some of the people. You see, they say in each and every system there's advantages and disadvantages. There are pros and cons, of course, India. And the cons, according to me, the way that you've said, it produced many graduates. But you see, currently, like there was a time, I can say up to now, graduating actually doesn't mean that you are successful.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I
I
agree.
think I think that is the way you said that there are many graduates, but out of maybe 100 graduates, you can find maybe 10 are successful. Maybe they have
Yeah.
gotten a good job for themselves.
True.
They have maybe, yeah, but apart from graduates, there were more dropouts. And we have found that the droppers actually in the 844
Would-
system were the most
They were
successful.
making it.
Yeah,
The street smarts.
and employing the A,
And employing the A students.
the A students, and then even the graduates.
Uh-huh.
So I think,
That's another conversation right there.
yeah. So I think, as you saying that many there were more graduates in the 844 system. There were even more dropouts, and most of the dropouts actually in the current generation right now are the people who are successful, maybe in businesses, according to me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we've looked at the pros of the 844 system. Now let us look at the cons
Mhm.
of the 844 system. So one of the drawbacks of the so-called 844 system that has actually come to an end
Mhm.
is that it is too rigid and exam oriented. The system puts
Yeah,
a lot
true.
of pressure on learners to
Mhm.
perform well. Oh my God, when I did my exam, KCP, KCSE, it's too much pressure. All of us, I think we've all gone through that. We can actually attest to that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's very true.
Too much pressure.
Mhm.
on learners to perform well in standardized national examinations at the end of each level. Look at the KCPE, pressure, pressure, pressure. KCSC, pressure. So these examinations determine whether the learners can proceed to the next level or not, as well as their chances of getting scholarships or admission to their preferred institutions or courses. So the system also does not allow for flexibility or customization of the curriculum to suit the needs and abilities of different learners, and as a result many learners suffer from stress. I remember I panicked during my KCPE. As many learners suffer from stress, anxiety, burnout, and low self-esteem due to high expectations and competition. And then the second disadvantage is that the 844 system it's just too costly. I remember my father used to pay money through the nose, especially the Kenya, the secondary school education. The school fees itself, oh my goodness, it was way off the roof according to the school that I went to. And also the books that I had to buy, plus the exercise books, plus the uniform, tuition fees, textbooks, transport, boarding facilities, and other expenses. The system was just rigged against us, but there was nothing that we could do. So it required us to pay all those and other expenses that are beyond to reach of many low income families. So it required that those parents who were low income earners could not even access that kind of education then. So the system also does not provide adequate infrastructure and resources such as classrooms, teachers, libraries, laboratories, and computers to cater to the larger number of enrollments. So ilikuwa like the high school could accommodate like 100 form ones, and if you're cut off from the group who are supposed to get in the school, you cannot get in, and yet you've qualified. So the system was actually rigged against those who had passed and they were not able to access them. So moreover, the system does not address the issues of inequality and marginalization that affect many learners from rural areas, slums, nomadic communities, and special needs groups. The third drawback of the 844 system, I think that it was very, very critical for it to be changed to CBC, is that it does not adequately prepare learners for the changing demands and challenges of the 21st century. So the system focuses more on rote learning and memorization rather than critical thinking and problem-solving skills. And this system also does not incorporate emerging issues such as globalization, digital literacy, climate change, human rights, and gender equality into its curriculum. So it does not align well with the needs and expectations of employers and industries that require graduates who are innovative, adaptable, skilled in communication, collaboration, and creativity. So those are the issues that actually plagued the KC, the 844 system to be revamped, and now we have the CBC system that now incorporates all these things that 844 doesn't have.
So according to you, does it really solve everything? That the CBC now, will it solve everything? Maybe will it solve the cons of or the gaps that were left with the 844 system? Because one of the factor hapo umesema it was very expensive. The 844 was very expensive, and according to me, CBC is even more expensive. For it involves you see, on the 844 side, I think the efforts of the parents were just maybe in most cases paying just school fees. You understand? Mostly what the parent will contribute to the child, just mostly school fees. Because you see, once a parent amekuweka kwa boarding school, contact yako na yeye inaisha. So maybe mama assignment na nini, you have to kujitegemea kama students. ama pupils, ndio. So but on the CBCs, the parents are complaining so much because they have to contribute, even apart from maybe the school fees, they have to contribute even the time, and pia na ile energy na akili, they have to contribute to that. So they are complaining that the time maybe they should be spending looking for school fees, the time maybe they should be spending wakisaidia watoto wao kazi, una understand. So me, according to me, as the CBC solve the issue with maybe issue na post, and hapo I saw that kuna one of the cons pia umenini ambayo inakuzia maybe mambo na employability. I think the 844 system was created an employment in mind. You understand? I don't know when our creators kama kwa nafikiria kama kutawahi kuwa na kampuni zingine zita emerge in the future, and those companies be created by the products of the 844 system, because ama maybe they were basing that base, walikuwa na base their your creation to create your 844 system according maybe to the companies that were existing at that time, and maybe they didn't see that in the future kutaikuwa na other companies apart from maybe, for example, apart from the KCC, KBC, and those legendary companies that used to exist back then. So of course issue na CBC, I think it's more of innovative na I think the imekaa mpya kusolve hiyo issue ya watu kuto depend on education as such, like for their existence or for their survival, because once we see the CBC apart even hata kama ilikuwa ina encourage mambo na co-curricular activities back then, there was no future for that. Napata co-curricular activity ilikuwa kusaidia mostly in the school setup. So if you are a good actor, you are a good football player, ilikuwa nakusaidia tu kwa environment ya shule. But once now you are out, usema ukienda ukifanikiwa ukienda university bado itakusaidia, but now once you are out of that setup, there were no proper structures. It's like how can I put it? It's like trying to train a child to be a good cook, and then after we have trained him is good at cooking, unamwachilia, like you are not even setting up a kitchen for him, you are not even trying to plan maybe the child to have a hotel in the future, or somewhere he can be practicing that skill that he has, so that skill imsaidia kupata pesa, si ndio? So I think there was hakukuwa na proper structures back then, and then as time was when time ilikuwa na evolve, that's why we saw the rise of the shows kama Vitimbi and the shows kama hizo shows zenye zilikuwa zinasaidia ku rise talent, but it wasn't easy because developing during the foundation of those shows zilikuwa few in Kenya, and the market was flood, ama the people who were talented were many, so hakukuwa na hiyo chance ya mtu. Unapata mtu amezeeka na hajaikuwa and is a good actor, but hajaipata platform ya kufanya kitu yake inampatia do, so unapata the person has any other choice but have to kwa sababu inafaa ishi, inafaa fanye kazi, watoto nafaa kule, hata the person is forced to just look for a job ya kumfanya survive, of which me, according to me, mi naweza patiana like a testimony of my father. My dad was a good carpenter, but back then he was employed, was on alikuwa employed kwa other stuff. So you see, he was pursuing his gift and talent as a, how can I put it, as a side hustle, you understand? And me, according to me, your talent and gift should be your main hustle, and then pia employment ikuwe kama side hustle. I think the society came and accepted that, and currently tunaona kuna changes. Ama unaonaje?
Yeah, I think you're right in some way. So like what you've said, that the 844 system was actually created with the employment cues in mind, because I remember there is this song that we used to sing, so many vijana, so many kwa bidii, mwisho wa kusoma tapata kazi nzuri sana. So I think in that sense, completely right, because yeah, it enabled us now to have that skill of practical and vocational skills. The subjects that I mentioned earlier, computer studies, business studies, home science, agriculture, was meant to prepare us for self-reliance and entrepreneurship. Utapata ya kuwa those who had gone through the 844 system were found to be very disciplined in the workplace, because they actually knew that my education was actually to get me into a job.
So nikiharibu sina eneo.
Sasa ukishapata kazi, you are supposed to maintain that work, because that is how the system was designed. Yeah. So as much as you have said all that, yeah, we have also outlined some of the goods, some of the quick wins of the 844. But right now, as per the current system and the current global challenges that we are facing, this 844 system is actually being phased out, and it has had its share of successes, and failures in delivering quality education to Kenyans, and as even the curtain drops on the end of the system. So there are current realities that and trends in education globally, and I think the government still needs to review on the issues surrounding the education system to make it more responsive to the challenges that we are currently facing. You talked about the CBC curriculum, and you said that the CBC curriculum is actually more expensive, which I agree. I have talked to so many parents on the ground, and they are saying that actually hata 844 ilikuwa afadhali. Hii CBC walimu wanatumaliza for every subject that we do. Sijui tunaambiwa tulete sijui nini, tulete sijui what, watatumaliza. Plus the fees have been doubled. Yes, we are paying through the nose. Sasa nitafanya nini? Yani nitakuwa nafanya kazi tu kuweka mtoto shule, hata nisiangalie the way I'm going to live, the food and all that stuff. So actually parents right now are grappling with the education system. It has its good sides though. The CBC actually brings about the issue of entrepreneurship, critical thinking. It resolves, it enables a child from a very young age to learn problem solving skills. And it also enables a child to be able to think critically, even with the small issues that the child is facing. Mambo na kucheza na mpira nini. Maybe if he or she is facing a problem, and he is trained how to come up with a solution on those small issues. Now if a child is trained to do that, by the time he's growing up, hata hizi issues zingine zenye ni ndogo ndogo, he will be able to solve them. There are so many pros and cons. I think this is the CBC system is still going through its pilot stage, although it started a few years ago with Uhuru Kenyatta's regime 10 years ago. I think the pilot stage system of the CBC is not yet complete. We are still having a lot of hits and misses. It's still in trial basis even after a decade, and the Kenyans have actually felt the pinch of CBC after the entrance of the Ruto administration. So with the grappling challenges, the recession that the globe is facing, the current the challenges that Kenya is facing, the cost of living that has skyrocketed, and issues to do with now the government services being hiked. It's just it's not good for the Kenyan people, and I think that the government should do they should just have a sit down, and maybe the presidential party that is responsible for ensuring that this education system reaches each and every Kenyan, they should create an enabling environment for even the people at the bottom of the economic pyramid to enjoy this CBC system without feeling phased out or left out as a result of financial constraints.
That's Yeah, I think the government should work on that, maybe, and then because right now it's like the pupils are wanatumika kama experiment. So I think in some way the government needs to be sure of what they are doing, because these kids are the future and are part of the future. So if you are doing a trial with them, because of course there are some schools that they are good, maybe issues to do with the finances, facilities, and everything. So it's easier for them to acquire some things that the CBC education system needs. But to some schools that that are marginalized, maybe from Marsabit, Garissa, even in Nairobi County, there are some schools that they don't have those facilities. So maybe the CBC needs for some for the pupils to understand some things better. They don't have. So I think on my side it was a good thing, but I think they should have taken time. Maybe the government should have been well prepared facility wise, and maybe to allocate good money for it, and find the right people to out to like it's like having a kid, and you're not a good parent for the kid. I think the government should have been a good parent for the CBC before the implementation of, or before they try it out. They have like every school be equipped with the necessary facilities for that education system. They should have come with the that I've said, proper structures and proper staff, educate even the teachers, because the 844 system is another. It was the way the 844 system was being handled is totally different with the CBC is being handled. It's like someone that is used to ride a bicycle, and then you give him just a Mercedes Benz, and you tell him where ride that Mercedes Benz tupatane na huko mbele. So I think they should have taken time and train each and every teacher pale mashinani, kila nini create hiyo civil education and public awareness kwanza kwa walimu, and then pia kwa parents, kukuwa na proper like mtu asikuwa naonea tu kwa news that there were civic education on that. Unajua kuna watu wanasemanga ati they did research kwa mashinani, but most of the people kienda kwa ground, mtu akuhusishwa, mtu akuwa involved kwa maybe kwa research about it. I think the government should have taken proper steps with that, ndio kwa implementation kusikuwa na lot of complaints, na pia kama kuna misses, the parents should have been able to point out before the implementation process. So I think the government wangechukua approach ndio, because the key players hapa ni hata si walimu. The key players ni parents, because the key players the parents are the owner of the children, and they are the people that wana produce school fees, wana support hizo shule, wana nini, unajua ndio kama wanatoa products yeah. So I think the parents should have been involved even better, and then after parents now walimu, and that's how wakiendanga. So I think we should shift gears. Just as by the way, yesterday we saw Nuru Okanga trending all over Twitter.
I didn't even believe, I couldn't believe it. People were saying that Nuru Okanga has 401 marks. I couldn't believe that.
Actually,
is it true?
Actually, on yesterday he had an interview.
Yes, he had I saw that interview on NTV, and you could see that even the presenter herself, she had to confirm. She was like, ebu nipe nini index number ya Nuru Okanga iko wapi? Tunafaa kucheck. Kwa sababu this, social media is a whole other world altogether, because you can't believe everything that it says. So we had to confirm, you are here, the horse's mouth, ebu tuambie. And it's actually true that he got 401 marks. Kumbe watu walikuwa tu wanamtusi tu bure. Ni vile tu class 3. So I wish I could have watched that interview fully, but I don't know, it was cut short. Was he able to answer questions why he dropped out at class 3, or was it financial constraints, or what was the problem?
Actually, there are just highlights of what the interview entailed yesterday. He says that actually he is eyeing for Alliance High School after receiving 2023 KCP results.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Congratulations to him
he has
then.
also revealed that the immense support he has received, or he received from ODM leader Raila Odinga.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
and
That's really good.
so yesterday during his interview at NTV, Okanga, who played Kejari in
He
his,
was very cagey, by the way.
yeah, in his response on
Yeah.
whether he scored 4 or 1 marks in the exams, and he said that Raila gifted him loads of cash and urged him to celebrate the milestone.
Wow.
But
Congratulations, Nurokanga, wherever you are. Celebrate. This is your time. But remember, next year, unarudi.
But
Please,
he
kufanya
however,
mtihani.
declined to reveal the amount he received, but he praised Raila for playing a pivotal role in his political career and aspirations. And quoting verbatim, he said, "Raila sent me a lot of money today. He told me to buy a cow and celebrate with my family."
Wow.
He
Wow,
also
that's
further
good.
stated that Raila, my president, is the one who made me become a brand in Kenya. I want to tell him that I received many calls from people seeking him to be vocal in the political scene. So he also says that people are telling him that they are tired and want the return of mass actions. And Kenyans will have to endure for more years for their actions for electing this regime. he also warned the Kenyans about electing the regime of President Ruto. And the death of Azimio supporter father alleged that he was said to join Alliance High School despite receiving multiple offers from principals. Of course, every school right now wants to shine, unajua.
Kabisa.
And
Because they have realized this is a bright mind here. Tunakuonanga tu ukipiga kelele huko Jacaranda, kumbe wewe kichwa yako iko straight, iko sawa. You can actually grapple with education.
and he also,
But I'm still on that. What happened? Did he give details?
he just
about-
gave maybe he said that he want to go to Alliance under. He said he revealed that he got a sponsor with Babu Owino.
The
Yeah, and,
Babowino, yeah. That's good. That's really good.
And he also said that Kenya should expect great things, and he will talk to the teachers to grant him the right to be educating people on matters politics.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he pia alipraise the Ruto's party leader George Wajakoya, and he said that he played in his decision to return to school.
Wow.
And he also advised him to be learned and attain education certificates if he expected to join elective politics in the 2024-2027 general elections, of which he is eyeing for Holera Ward.
Olera Ward.
Yeah, he also added that Wajakoya ensured that he enrolled in Mumia's Muslim primary school and also funded his education. I actually guess that I predicted maybe Wajakoya was part of.
Yes. I think he's one of his mentors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. He played a big part in ensuring that he goes back to school. Atashindanga akiambia watu mimi ni class 3 dropout and you want to buy for a seat. It cannot happen.
He also said, quoting verbatim, that when I did KCP, I wanted it to be made public so that when it comes to 2027 elections, no one will accuse me of failing to complete my education. That's a good move. There's a new supporter trended for better part of Thursday afternoon with the various online posts claiming he recorded 401 marks. At the time, Nuru Okanga revealed that the index number posted did not belong to him, and he had yet to access the results. So the screenshot of yesterday that was trending was like Nuru Okanga Maloba index number 3761-067-7055, and had a total score of 401. And breaking down the subjects, he said that maths, the screenshot said that maths he scored 84, that's A. English 80A, Kiswahili 80A, science 75 A minus, social studies stroke CRE 82A. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. So I think that move by Nuru Okanga has encouraged many people, and
Yeah.
because right now on this trend of social media where people are criticized left, right, and center, I think he was brave enough to face that audience, and I think that that made people acknowledge him and maybe appreciate, because not many people will do that.
Yeah, not so much.
Come out, especially when you on public limelight, and then you come out and saying that I'm now going back to primary school. You see that's bravery on his side, because many people have revealed by huko baadaye after maybe he's in form 3 or form 4, but he just wanted to inspire people, those people maybe who are not landed in society. Maybe you didn't get that advantage to attend school, maybe because of school fees back then, but you want to or you have a vision to expound yourself huko in the future. I think hiyo move by Nuru Okanga, it has encouraged many people out there and make them like brave enough to pursue their visions, because as much as we see unakaa hapo, hakuna mtu mwenye atakuja kukuamua. You just have to kuamua yourself kwanza, and then people will help you as time goes.
I agree. I think it's a very, very good move. It's an inspirational move to so many Kenyans out there who feel like they have outgrown themselves. They cannot go back to school. Can you imagine? Nuru Okanga has a family, has a wife, has a kid, and he has a political a career ahead of him, and he has realized that if he really has to pursue this political career that is ahead of him 2027, as he's eyeing the MCA seat, he needs to really sharpen himself. He needs to prepare himself. I think that brings me to the issue that is very close to my heart about personal development. I think in the current dispensation we need to encourage personal development. You need to improve your skills. You need to improve your character. You need just to make yourself better. If you are maybe working in a workplace and you realize that there are some skill sets that are needed, you can actually go back to school and add on those skills. If you didn't finish your degree, or there are so many people out there, I'm aware, they are in the workplace and they are not able to finish their degree or college, and they couldn't, maybe because of financial constraints. You can actually go back and finish schooling. And maybe if you feel like there is a skills gap that you really need to, upgrade in, you can actually do that. Or maybe you see something that you like, that you're very interested in, but you don't know how to do it, you can actually go ahead and do it. Right now, we are living in the information age, and information is everywhere. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have information everywhere on the internet. We have phones. I mean, the information is everywhere. So there is no you have no excuse actually. So I think that move will actually encourage so many people to to better themselves. As we've seen, Nuru Okanga has come out publicly claiming that he has gone back to school to do KCPE. Then in the next maybe 3 to 4 years he will be doing his KCSE and in which after those 4 years is 2027, right?
True.
So in 2027 when he gets his certificate, he can actually vie for the MCA. MCA anahitaji tu kuwa na certificate.
Yes, the move was very strategic.
The move was very strategic and timely, and I really congratulate Nuru Okanga for such a strategic move, and I pray that he continues with that mentality of trying to improve himself, and by the time we reach 2027 utakuta maybe speaking very good English, and maybe learn maybe some foreign languages on top of that, and maybe, never know, he'll surprise us.
So moving to the next stuff, we have there are claims that maybe fuel and electricity prices will be rising after EPRA doubled levy. So just some bits. So fuel and electricity prices are set for a fresh increase on proposed changes to the law to double a levy charge in two products to support the operations of a sector regulator. The statute law miscellaneous amendments bill 2023 has proposed to amend the Energy Act of 2019 by doubling the EPRA levy to maximize to a maximum of 1% from the current ceiling of 0.5%. So Kenyans are currently paying 0.2 shillings per liter on petrol, diesel and kerosene as a petroleum regulatory levy. They are also paying 0.08 shillings on each unit on electricity as per EPRA levy. So the two levies form the backbone of the regulator's annual revenue. So in the financial year to June 2021, for instance, EPRA netted 1.2 billion shillings from the petroleum levy compared to 1.1 billion shillings in the previous year, an increase of 16.5%. It has also earned 236 million shillings from the electricity levy during the period, down 10% from 263 million shillings the previous year. So during that financial year, EPRA earned total revenue amounting to 1.51 billion shillings, meaning the two levies, which accumulated to 1.45 billion shillings, accounted for 96% of its revenues. So EPRA said that they did not receive any government support during that period. So these claims is happening actually amidst right now who is in charge of Kenya, because Gachagua is in Equatorial Guinea and President Ruto is in Tanzania. So why is it like almost every time President Ruto is flying out of the countries when things are set to increase? So sometimes I don't understand. And it was just was it last week that EPRA announced maybe reducing the cost of fuel, and right now it is set to rise again. So we don't understand. And in other countries the cost of fuel is coming down, but in Kenya just up and up. I think Kenya si mnasongo sana. Yeah, we are we are the deep state of the world. That's why I'm just saying because this government is behaving like the whole of Kenya is Karen, the whole of Kenya is Westlands, the whole of Kenya is we are just rich kids, we are just tunaishi kwa starehe na nasi, so that's why watu wachi starehe. And then pia kuna Moses Kuria is threatening to unveil CS Kuria unveils plan to expose corrupt government officials. Like Moses Kuria is just one of drama king. So speaking during Huduma Center Ombudsman Awards at KICC, he has made plans that his plan will discourage officials from soliciting bribes from Kenyans. And according to him, he will meet the press monthly to share the names of civil servants accused of corruption. And quoting verbatim says that we will tell you these officers ask for this amount, these police stations corrupt, and so much more. So the expose will compromise the government institutions, county governments, and law enforcement agencies, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, and the National Police Service. He argued that corrupt government officials had pushed a section of Kenyans into depression, with some even contemplating suicide. His main aim, he reiterated, is to ensure that all Kenyans access government services. So, do you think that what he claims is true?
Well,
that the issues to do with corruption and from the government officials making Kenyans maybe to look for suicide as a solution for the problems.
I think he has a lot to to say on that, and I think he's saying a lot of good things that we want to hear. But then again, I think the issue of corruption, maybe he should start with his docket at first. Yes, he should start with his docket, and probably, like, I'm saying the buck stops with the president. The buck stops with the president, because it is the president who assured us as Kenyans that mambo ni mangapi. So kama mambo ni matatu, then he should roll up his sleeves and ensure that the corrupt officials who are using the taxpayers' money to siphon the money and take it to offshore accounts and use it maybe in businesses that are for their vested interests, they are held accountable. So I think he's saying the right things, but there's so much talk in this government. There is so much talk, and for him to say that is actually maybe to remind the Kenyans that we need to ensure that even these public government officials, they are brought to book, So going back to the economic crimes that have been happening over the years, even before this government went into power, you remember there's a time that Uhuru Kenyatta was told that there is so much corruption happening in his government, and yet he came out to say on national TV that there is nothing that he can do. At that moment, I felt so helpless as a person, because I am paying taxes, and yet my money is being siphoned to an offshore account that I don't know of. I am paying taxes, and yet my money is being used for something that is not helping in the development of the nation. So it really cripples us as a government, because that is one of the issues that is really bringing down the economy of this country. So if corruption can be completely stamped out from the higher economic ladder, from the president himself to the person who is the least in the government, then I think then we will be in the right track. But currently, as we are speaking, there are so many scandals that we don't even know of. We know of the Finland scandal that we are yet to come to a conclusion to. We also know of this G2G deal, that there are so many stories around it, so many questions have been asked. The UDA is saying this, the opposition is saying this, then we have a party, the Anjeri is an individual, maybe some of the people say that she's a pawn in this deal. I mean, there's just so many questions around it, and yet this government is asking the Kenyans to pay taxes, and this taxes have been increased to 16%, and yet the government is not doing anything to increase the tax base. The government is not doing anything to reduce the cost of living. All they are doing, they are also increasing the government services, which is not good. At the ID, me, by the way, in the previous regime, I lost my ID 3 times when I was working for a certain NGO. I would go to the GPO. I'll go to the GPO, and it will take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, napata ID, and then all of a sudden tena inapotea, tena narudi tu huko. It was for free. Now ukipoteza ID ni elfu mbili, na kupata ID form 4 zenye wanamaliza shule watalipa 2,000. And then what this documents, the birth certificate, it's just crazy that the birth certificate, these documents are actually being paid through the nose to actually get from the government. Documents like a passport, it has been increased up to 7,500 Kenya shillings. And then marriage, marriage, just to get married, sasa itakuwa tu ni wazee watasema wacha tu nilipe dowry. Hiyo mambo ya kwenda kufanya harusi na kutafuta certificate Hey, the government needs to do something, man. I think the secretary, the CS, is saying the right things, but will we see action? That is where my question is. Hivyo vile anasema that he's going to expose the government officials, will he be in a capacity to do that?
It's the same issue of diverting the attention of Kenyans, because right now what is actually causing depression to Kenya is just government policies. There is not even corruption, because we can see sometimes Kenyans use corruption to get some things a shortcut. You understand? You get like the issue of passport back then. Even before it was raised from 4,000 to 7,500. I think there were still issues to do with. There are even Kenyans who are going as far as maybe to give out maybe up to 15k shillings for them to get the same passport. You understand? For them to get the passport now for their passport to be processed faster. So when you say you see the corruption maybe from the government side, in some way it was like Kenyans used that maybe to get some services easier, because maybe the right channels were like hectic for a common mwananchi to get their services in. So I think what Moses Kuria should do, just advise the government. The issue here is just the government's policies is what is troubling Kenyans right now. That drama of I will expose, I will do what. So after exposing, how many people have been exposed to up to today of corruption? That there's nothing that has been done from those days. So I think the government should just maybe try and make efforts to push on life of Kenyans, and maybe bring down the cost of living. And then issue to do with oil, they should come up with policies of reduce the cost of oil products up to Kaizen. They should stop diverting the minds ya wana Kenya, like ati yao ndio ati corruption of make people quite depressed. Me, according to me, is not making. According to me, Kenyans love like if you hata ukibodi matatu from maybe where you stay ukienda shughuli, you see the drivers are enjoying maybe corrupting giving bribes to the police officers. So I think Kenyans are just using maybe corruption to get services easier from the government officials, because maybe the policies that have been placed kama right now, maybe the cost of getting ID is 7,500, na upate mtu anakuambia wewe nipate 5k not ID but passport, ndio anakuambia wewe nipate 5k nikuletee passport sahihi. Which one will you consider? Utaona 5k is easier, well, let me just produce that 5k and get the service, because the government wameweka rules and regulations zenye zinafanya nini kupata hiyo passport na kuwa ngumu. So I think just it's a matter of time, the government, it's high time the government will change strategy for cushion lives of Kenyans, and then after hapo wanaweza speak of corruption to guys.
So you're saying that they should not do anything about corruption? What are you saying actually?
Of course they should, but they should not put it like that is what is depressing Kenyans. Kenyans are not ukiwa hapa like hata wewe mwenyewe ukiwa hapa kwa nyumba, what are you concerned about? Is it you see there are some other corruption maybe they are affecting Kenyans directly, but not really all of them, you understand? Not really all of them. Ukiwa kwa nyumba like a common mwananchi akiwa pale kwa nyumba yake, anafikiria venye atapata unga, anafikiria venye atapata school fees, anafikiria venye atapata vitu. Is not like anafikiria venye mtu ameiba kwa particular ministry inamsumbua. That ye sumbui a common mwananchi as such, you understand? A common mwananchi is just concerned of na venye life yake itakuwa better. So I don't of course corruption in affect Kenya as a country, and it's actually contribute to some failures as from the government, but that I cannot tell you that inafanya Kenya kuwa depressed.
Then again, only to maybe counter what you're saying. So I think corruption affects us directly or indirectly.
It affects us, but
especially in the current government that we are in. Remember KRA. KRA are after our backs. They are actually asking for monies that even the government did not even help to provide that tax base. Pesa mfukoni, si walisema bottom up economy ni pesa mfukoni. Ni pesa gani wametuwekea kwa mfuko? Hakuna pesa yenye wanatuwekea kwa mfuko. All they're doing is just churning money out of us through the government services that have been hiked and plus the taxes. Na hizo taxes tukilipa, hizo pesa zinaenda wapi? Do you think it's fair for a common mwananchi analipa KRA na hizo pesa hazionekani? They are not doing anything. Still the roads are bad. Still there is no development infrastructure projects. There is no lowering of cost of living. The cost of fuel is still going up. Energy bado iko pale pale. Hiyo pesa tunalipa inaenda wapi? Don't you think that the common mwananchi pia anakasirika at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, we are not the people wenye tulikuwa kitambo tunapewa 50 bob tu tunanyamaza. We actually see what is happening and we are asking questions. And as a Kenyan mwananchi and as a common mwananchi out there, I encourage you to go to your MCA, to go to your MP and ask him hard, tough questions, because hao watu, you should not let them take you for a ride. They should not take us for a ride. Tunawaingiza kwa kiti and then all of a sudden they forget on their mandate that we gave them. They should actually do what they were appointed to do. And I think the president should go back and do what he is required to do. All these trips, kusema tu kweli, just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's a matter of time. We just hope. You see, it's always a prayer that everything will be all right at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, we have Sim 10 who has commented. He said, "Hustler, tawala." Okay,
so
we have 4 years atatawala. Ni sawa, ina shida.
So it's time for us to log out.
Yeah.
For those for those who are watching us on Facebook and are not a followers, you can follow Lightcast TV Kenya on Facebook. And if you'll be watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lightcast TV Kenya. You can also follow Lightcast TV Entertainment on Facebook and subscribe to Lightcast TV Entertainment on YouTube. And also Twitter, Lightcast TV Kenya, Instagram, Lightcast TV Kenya. So thank you very much. It has been me, Don Martin Trayon.
And I'm Ninjal Kolek.
Yeah, see you on Monday.
Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend and enjoy. And congratulations
Hi
to
everyone,
all those
my
who
name
passed.
is Elias
And for those
Njeru.
who didn't, there is life after KCP.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Elias Njeru. Properties, I'm welcoming you to a big event that will be the title deed issuance event that will happen in Nakuru Athletics Club on 16th of December. We'll be issuing over 300 title deeds for 13 completed projects in Nakuru County. Here are some of the title deeds. See you then.
Ingenious Land and Properties Limited. Secure your future with us.